This is my review of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, so Jojo is still oblivious to the fact that AC/DC's brain clinged to his back and realizes that he needs to tell Lisa immediately, but unfortunately Lisa's in the bath, which her maid Suzy-Q informs him about, and he and Suzy-Q do flirt for a bit and reveal that they do have a mutual attraction to one another, even though they do tease each other a little bit. But they do have a mutual crush on one another, and that's kind of adorable. But it's around this point where Jojo doesn't really realize it, but eventually puts two and two together and realizes that AC/DC has in fact possessed Suzy-Q and is controlling her, and slowly starts to wipe away the redstone of Asia and sends it to Switzerland, which we find out a little bit later. But Jojo doesn't realize this until he decides to peep on Lisa and realizes that something isn't right with Suzy-Q, and also realizes that she somehow managed to slip into the room without going inside. So he barges in on them and realizes that something is off about Suzy-Q immediately, and realizes that AC/DC is controlling Suzy-Q, and eventually Caesar is caught up when he shows up and tries to figure it out. But he still has no idea until Suzy-Q reveals her true colors and reveals that she's being controlled by AC/DC. And after a bit of debating, they realize that the best way to deal with the situation is to use opposing forces of Hammond to keep her alive by protecting her heart with one force of Hammond, while at the same time expelling AC/DC from the other with another type of Hammond. And both Jojo and Caesar combine their forces to make this possible, and they force AC/DC out, and because of the sunlight, he melts. But yeah, Suzy-Q is alive and well, and after realizing that they went to Switzerland, she and Jojo have a tearful goodbye before the group heads off to Switzerland to track down the cargo train that's taking the redstone of Asia to Switzerland. And they do eventually catch up, but not before having another encounter with the Germans, led by von Stroheim, who has survived his explosion and was made into a cyborg, which is kind of amazing, but we don't find that out until a little bit later. And the group is invited back to their cabin to discuss strategy against the Pillarmen, which they agree to, because at the very least, Cars doesn't have the stone, so they're fine. But afterwards, Cars, who is also in Switzerland and waiting for the stone, realizes that something has gone wrong and hunts down the Germans, but is unable to send Stroheim, mainly because Stroheim is now mostly cyborg. So he goes in, kills all the Germans, but is fought off by Stroheim, who is revealed to be Stroheim. So yeah, Stroheim's a cyborg now. Wasn't expecting that. I don't really have any idea how they were able to piece him together after he was kind of completely blown apart by a German stick grenade, but I won't question it because it's Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. But yeah, it shows that Jojo does indeed have a woman he cares about. But who knows? It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting because it's revealed that Cars has the ability to protrude metal from his body, which I didn't expect. And he can also sense people, which makes it kind of hard to sneak up on him. So clearly Jojo is going to have a hard time defeating this guy, because there's no way he can outmaneuver him and sneak up on him with his ability to sense heat sources. So we'll see how this goes. And with Stroheim as a cyborg now, I think that would more than even the odds against the Pillarmen. But for right now, if you guys have seen this episode of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also check out my Patreon in the description below as well, and help me fund future projects like this one. It's only a couple bucks a month, so I would definitely recommend going to check that out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace! Alright, these aren't enemies then.